Hi there, I'm Simon Thomas and you are watching Talk Norwich City.
How do you think the start of the season's been for Norwich?
I think it's been okay. I think they've shown some really good signs of learning from each game as they've gone on, and then they kind of hit a bit of a wall with Southampton, and that's where we are now. We're ahead of the Bournemouth game, which is huge. I think they need to win it. I'm not sure if they're going to, because Bournemouth are a pretty decent side and they've strengthened well. And we're in a bit of limbo at the moment as to how the squad will react to Bradley leaving the dressing room. And they've got a couple of new signings to bed in as well. So there are question marks. I worry about them defensively. I don't know. I don't think they've got enough cover. I would imagine everyone in the club agrees because they were trying so hard to get someone in. So yeah, I do think it's going to be a difficult campaign because the Premier League's really strong this year.
What did you make of our sort of not just deadline day but the whole transfer window as a whole? Because I'm sure you're on Twitter. There was a bit of a meltdown after deadline day, wasn't there? A lot of people saying Matt Jarvis was a bit of a panic buy, things like that. What did you make of deadline day and also the whole transfer window?
In terms for Norwich, I think they did a couple of good early bits of business. I think the Matt Jarvis thing, although it came about late, it wasn't like things hadn't been paved to make it happen beforehand. It just didn't quite happen for them, and it's difficult really to say why. It is Alex Neil's first transfer window down here in England.
Would you say that's something to do with it, Alex Neil's sort of lack of experience in the Premier League transfer window?
It's hard. They didn't get the things done they wanted to do. So, would that have happened if it had been the third, fourth? I know if I've done anything 3 or 4 times, I'm better than the first time. Of course. So it could be an issue, but David McNally's driving it. There are people there who've done it before. Lee Darnborough's done it before, possibly not with great success at Burnley. So, I think Norwich have a bit to prove in transfer windows. I don't think they've had a great few transfer windows. So, and it was a shame that things just weren't coming off. Maybe things were left too late. Would Palace have sold Dwight Gale if Norwich had come in for him before they'd already sold Glenn Murray? And they didn't get done what they wanted to, which ultimately makes it a difficult transfer window to call a success. But they did do some good business, and some business we're going to see how it pans out with, say, Jim Mercy and Mbakani.
Yeah, Mbakani is a player I want to talk about now. Obviously, we brought him in. Let's also talk about Lewis Grabban as well. What do you make of the whole Lewis Grabban saga and how Alex Neil has reacted to that, and also what you think Mbakani will bring to this squad?
Well, I have to be honest, I haven't seen much of Mbakani.
YouTube highlights real.
YouTube, I've seen a bit of that. So he seems like a bit of a poacher, decent in the air, quite one-footed. But I mean, a lot of those goals are from a year or so ago. So I think sometimes you just have to let's get him on the pitch and see what happens. He's not going to be match fit for a few weeks as well, and adjusting to the Premier League, which he's never played in. So we've got a lot of caveats there. But it's exciting. It's always exciting when a new signing comes in because you just don't know. It's something of a gamble. Lewis,
Would you, if you were manager, would you have let him go, even if we weren't bringing someone else in?
No, I have no issue with how they played it in the end.
Okay.
I think selling Lewis Grabban to Bournemouth, especially the fact that they've lost, say, Max Gradle, you can't strengthen a side you're going to come up against in terms of a relegation battle. What does £7 million do for you then? Especially if you can't get someone else in. Now, if they'd have got Dwight Gale in, maybe the wheels.
Do you think Lewis Grabban would have strengthened Bournemouth though, with the likes of Callum Wilson already there?
Well, I think he would have been an option for them to bring on and have around. He's comfortable there. He's not going to settle in. He already knows the place. Yeah, I mean, definitely he's an extra option. So they would be better having him than the side that's going to turn up on Saturday without him. So even if he wasn't starting, I mean, I still find it curious that Lewis kicked up such a fuss to go back to Bournemouth, and it's a real shame. But there's always a way back. I think Alec has handled it really well. So. But that's viewing it from the outside. The real viewing comes from how things go on the pitch afterwards and when Lewis comes back in.
Michael, once again, it's been a pleasure, man.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Cheers.
Man. Cheers.
Put that into words, or can you? That was fantastic, wasn't it?
Well, what a difference from the last game to this. I don't know what Alex Neil's obviously done in the last 2 weeks, but obviously it's worked.